So, Friday, 22nd of May, 2026. So, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Maturity versus knowledge. Now, this is a very interesting, visceral thing I've noticed about human interaction and human experience. That, and I've said before in the past, in life we want to be two things. One is rich, and the other thing is high IQ. What I've noticed is an interesting trade-off. There's an interesting kind of like balance, we could say. As you grow mature and you understand more things about life, you're able to connect the dots easier, able to understand things easier. So as to say, even if you're learning at a slower pace, reading fewer things, your maturity, your raw experience in life, by going out into the world and doing things, compensates for that lack of knowledge with regards to it. Refines your instincts and refines your character, refines your statistical model. Actually, I did a video about this 4 months ago, building statistical models to say, I've seen this before, I know what's going to happen, I know what it means. I've seen this 100 times, therefore probably that's going to happen, that kind of stuff. And you came to that conclusion not by by knowledge, but also by maturity, by going out into the world and doing stuff. As I remember it, it's got a fancy name in philosophy: priori and post-priori knowledge, where your knowledge comes from, basically instincts and experience and primal avenues, fire hot, versus study and books and knowledge and all the rest. Oh, these books have all said that fire is hot and fire is dangerous. Now, don't get me wrong; both are important. The maturity and knowledge, knowledge because it is it's theory, and it's books. We can just consult AI, read books, watch videos. It's extremely scalable and very cheap, very important. But this is what's called the cone of learning. Because it's a very passive way of learning, you don't retain as much. You don't internalize as much easily, but you can by doing it en masse, asking 1,000 questions and reading dozens of books. Of course, time other constraints permitting, you can study and learn a lot. But the other one, maturity, is raw, much more visceral, high retention, but expensive and costly with regards to, in the context of fire, it can hurt, it can burn, it can be painful, things like that. But you remember the lesson, you remember it. And in life, at a deeper level, we want both. We want to balance it. Because there are some things that we can do, like some things that we really want to study and learn passively, like fire is dangerous, and some things we really want to avoid, like the lessons, like fire, want to avoid that, because the best way to understand that fire is dangerous is not to burn your hand, but to read about it, things like that. We want both. So then what happens is that over time, as you mature and go out into the world and do and climb places and do stuff and drive and learn whatever else, your own maturity start to help compound that knowledge. That's extremely powerful, because I've seen it in a certain context elsewhere recently. And in terms of being a well-refined man, being a sovereign individual, being a Renaissance man, that's the phrase I don't use very often these days, but it's worth bringing back. You want to have a lot of this maturity in life. Not maturity as in being an adult, but understanding things. I've seen this 1,000 times. I've been there, done that. I know what's going to happen next. I know how this works. I've seen this a dozen times last month. I know what's going to probably happen. It's that kind of visceral life experience that only truly comes by going out into the world and doing stuff. Going out into the world and clashing with it in some fashion. Renting cars, climbing hills, doing stuff, working dozens of hours, arranging things, planning and strategizing, and walking 15 kilometers, things like that, and doing stuff, climbing the biggest mountain here and there in that country and here and all sorts of stuff, enduring 30-degree heat, enduring negative 10 degrees, things like that. You grow. I did a video a month ago, I guess now. It puts hair on your chest. A nice, very colloquial, poetic way of putting it. Doing stuff that gives you more life experience. Because as you get more life experience, it helps to compound, accelerate, and help compensate the lack of not reading and not building knowledge priory, through books, let's say, in podcasts and videos, things like that. It helps because you've seen this before. It's that raw experience, and it helps you in many ways, many ways. Just life. You've seen it before. You know how things happen. You know what's going to happen. Things like that. You're more calm, more collected, more in control. Stuff like that. It's amazing. Yeah. But otherwise, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.